Have you ever imagined a nation declaring war on a bird species? Sounds absurd, right? Yet such a conflict did occur, in the land down under of all places. Picture it, Australia, in the year of 1932, a time when the world was in the grip of the Great Depression. Yet here, the adversary wasn't economic downfall, but emus, large flightless birds native to the continent. Intriguing, isn't it? So buckle up as we journey back to the 1930s to witness the Great Emu War. The 1930s were a tough time for Australian farmers, especially those in Western Australia. The sting of the Great Depression spread far and wide, leaving no industry untouched. For the hard-working farmers in the vast expanses of Western Australia, it was a double whammy. On one hand, the global economic downturn made their produce less profitable. On the other, they faced a new, unusual problem: emus. These large, flightless birds, native to Australia, started to invade the farmlands in droves. With a population explosion due to the abundant water and food resources, the emus descended upon the cultivated lands, destroying crops and wreaking havoc on the already struggling farmlands. The damage was substantial, pushing the farmers further into the depths of financial distress. Faced with this unique predicament, the farmers knew they needed help. They couldn't fight the emus off on their own. In desperation, the farmers turned to the military for help, marking the beginning of the bizarre conflict. The military, armed with machine guns, marched towards the enemy, not a foreign army, but a flock of flightless birds. This conflict, not quite like any other, saw the Australian soldiers strategizing against a seemingly innocuous opponent, the emus. The military operations initially were straightforward. They planned ambushes, relying on the power of their machine guns to do the job. The soldiers were confident, expecting a swift victory against their feathered foes. However, as the war began, it became evident that the emus were not as easy to defeat as first thought. Their surprising resilience became a talking point. The emus, with their exceptional speed and unpredictable movement patterns, proved difficult targets. They scattered in all directions at the first sound of gunfire, leaving the soldiers flabbergasted. The initial operations, which were expected to be clear-cut, turned into a complex game of cat and mouse. The emus, however, proved to be a formidable adversary, leading to unexpected results. In the face of relentless resistance from the emus, the military had to rethink their strategy. The emus' guerrilla tactics and uncanny ability to evade capture and gunfire forced the military to admit defeat. It was a bitter pill to swallow for a force trained to face human adversaries, not feathery foes. The military withdrew, leaving the farmers to handle the emu onslaught. They resorted to more conventional methods, including fences and traps. However, these measures were only partially successful. The emus, it seemed, were not so easily deterred. The public reaction to this unusual conflict was a mix of amusement and disbelief. Many saw the war as a comical misadventure, a David versus Goliath tale, where Goliath was not a giant, but a flightless bird. It made headlines across the globe, with newspapers churning out pun-filled pieces about the emu's victory. The media coverage, however, also brought attention to the farmers' plight. It highlighted the challenges they faced in protecting their crops and livelihoods from the emus. This led to a renewed focus on finding more effective, long-term solutions to the emu problem. And so ended the Great Emu War, a chapter in history that serves as a reminder of nature's resilience. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes the greatest battles are not against other humans, but against the unyielding forces of nature itself. So, what can we learn from this unusual chapter in history? The Great Emu War offers a few intriguing lessons. First and foremost, it underlines the importance of understanding and respecting nature. The emus, native to Australia, were merely responding to their natural instincts, seeking food and water in a land they've roamed for millennia. This war also serves as a reminder that solutions to problems aren't always found on the battlefield. Instead of resorting to gunfire, perhaps a more sustainable approach to the emu issue could have been sought, like habitat conservation or migration management. Moreover, the Emu War has left an indelible mark on Australian history. It's a tale that combines the harsh realities of life in the outback with a touch of the absurd, contributing to the unique Australian identity. The Great Emu War, a war fought not with foreign enemies, but with the native emus, is a testament to the unpredictable and often humorous side of history.